Hello and welcome to this exciting edition of your program, Zimbabwe, the Awakening Child, where we will be focusing on the establishment of a fund for SMEs by SMEs with the cooperation of a seasoned insurance firm that has started courting finance houses within the land to change their policies and agree to finance the previously shunned SME sector. In the past, funds that would grow to finance the economy were established by big firms. But in a clear case of taking advantage of the current economic standings, the Small and Medium Enterprises Corporation of Zimbabwe has established a fund that has several packages for its members. And the packages include a specific medical aid scheme for SMEs and access to loans from about 5 financial institutions, all underwritten by a major insurance company, ensuring that the economic drivers of our era are not left behind. To ensure that this development is not benefiting players in the capital city alone, clusters have been set up across the country, and recently, cluster leaders from various provinces gathered in Harare for an induction workshop so that they would really appreciate the work ahead of them as they lead a sector that is set to benefit a lot from such programs as the retooling project, provision of workspace, and other workshops, among others. We joined the workshop with the managing director of the insurance firm addressing the cluster leaders, explaining how the fund and the packages came about.
Insurance, it's not an easy subject to understand. And I think we've had bad experience in our country where people took insurance policies and they lost money.
Yes.
So confidence is an issue, with our industry. And for that reason, I think we are really challenged that whatever we started, we should see it working. It should have meaning to you as an association. And not only meaning, but also there should be value addition coming out of this partnership. So we then thought of bring across some incentives where we're not saying we are recruiting only, but what do we give in exchange to the association? And then that's when we thought of coming up with this lending business. We are an insurance entity, we are not a lending institution. But I think what we've learned is that whatever we aspire to achieve, it has to come through with collaboration. So in our quest for collaboration, we then approached our sister company, should I say sister group company. They are into financial services, and part of their business is micro-lending or lending of finances for various purposes. So Fidelity came through and said, we'll support you. But we then thought of one other thing. We said, we are going for a constituency where we are not talking of anything substantial in terms of security. Because if you go to any commercial bank, you can name them in their numbers. The first thing that they ask you is, do you have security? We want collateral. And if you don't have collateral, there's no transaction to happen. So he mentioned to us, most of our members don't have anything. They hardly have anything. But we then said, look, let's come up with a product which then supports that void or that gap in terms of security. So we brought about what we call loan protection insurance. So we've got the medical aid, which is your fund. I'm happy it's not our fund, it's your fund. So that fund, to the extent that we support it, if it grows, it's your money. We wanted to differentiate ourselves from other medical aid companies, which are mutual societies. What they ask from you, they do keep, they do invest in you. I'm also a customer. You hardly get anything in return. That's it. So when we thought about this medical aid, we said, no, let's create medical aid which belongs to the association. So whatever gets into the fund is utilized by you as members. Whatever remains there after utilization is your money. It's also actually not save for administration fees. So it's a unique model that we've come up with, and we believe is going to grow and have meaning to you as the owners. Ours is just to administer it, to administer your service providers, my doctors, and health services providers, we are not participating in the Atina Maria Tutura. And for whatever we're going to take out of that fund, obviously, it's all about transparency. You have got a board that is going to, which has got oversight over this fund, and I think through him, it's all about transparency and transparency. But back to what I was relating to, the loan protection insurance, we brought about that product so that you are protected as well. So the loan protection insurance, this is what we have given you. It's replacing your collateral security. You know, where someone would have asked for a house or a car, there's nothing like that. And we've issued that product through the association. So that ensures that every member who is an association member should be able to get funding, because we've got that product, loan protection insurance. It's not a costly product. I think it's reasonable. You might have seen the numbers. And we'll continue to push that. For anyone who is borrowing, we will protect you. In the event of death, Credsure becomes the one to pay out any outstanding balances. In the event of, for those that have employees or that are employed retrenchments, we come in. So for us, I think that matters, and that's what should see you going forward. I then sat down with him and I said, you know what, I think let's reach out to other lenders. We reach out to those lenders and we negotiate terms of lending. We tell them, you want to lend to the association, but these are the terms. If you want, then lend on these terms, not your terms. Because what we're saying to the institutions, we have got a ready client, it's there, it's captive. So I think they should respect, our requests and our aspirations. So as we speak right now, I'm sure you might have gotten information that we are going to have another funder which is coming through to lend to the association. We now know that our economy is formal through the informal. If you are talking of employment, you know, you say there's 97% unemployment, but I say, look, there might not be 97% unemployment because we don't know what we're saying. You know, the businesses that we have set up is our employment. So as we speak, even government should be encouraged that we should support, you know, what we call these SMEs. But for me, those are the companies. Yeah, so we really want to support, you know, the association, because we know if we're talking of corporates, tomorrow you are the corporates. And we ask how many employees they are employing here. There are good stories about employment. So for us, we want to support and will support you to the extent, you know, possible. So we are bringing in another funder or micro lender. We have negotiated terms. We could not get exactly what we wanted, but it's not too way off from what I think the original lender has been asking. And we believe, I think the coming in of this funder or lender, I think is going to address most of the needs that have not been met. So as we speak, I said to Mr. Hove, let's have for each constituency your expectations in terms of the volume of lending that you want. And he has been working on that. I'm sure he'll give me the schedule so that we sit down with this second lender. And I've challenged them. I said, look, there's a market for you. If you are going to fail, it's your own. And what I also admire about this association is the discipline. So I think what carries the day is discipline and hard work. So for me, I think we've got the right partner. And I would not want, together with my team members, to disappoint you. We will do everything possible. I think we are approaching other lenders as well, and we're hoping that they will come to the party. And what is attracting them is also the loan protection that we are giving. Because they know for certain that they're not going to be exposed. If they are, they're exposed to some extent. So everyone that we've approached and we've put forward that card of loan protection insurance, they are happy to come on board. So we'll do our level best, ladies and gentlemen, to support you. We know this is our economy. There's no other economy to talk about. Karamatu my SMEs into the economy. Support. And we are proud that you also believed our cause.
This indeed is our economy, and the efforts of the SME umbrella body being led by Rabson Howe seem to be bearing fruit for its members and the general economy of our country, as we have heard there from Calvin Muchkevairi, the managing director of the insurance company, working hard to ensure that the drivers of our economy are fully capacitated. Welcome back. This is the second part of your informative and educative program, Zimbabwe, the Awakening Giant, which brings to the fore success stories of the Zimbabwean economy, especially from the view of small and medium enterprises. In today's edition, we are highlighting the successes scored by an SME umbrella body that has managed to secure funding for its constituency while also establishing a medical aid scheme for them, among other things. Cluster leaders for this grouping from around the country were recently in Harare for an induction workshop, and we managed to speak to some of them to find out how being members of this organization has helped them in business. First up was Ngoni Dzashe Nyikadzino from Kariba, who had this to say.
Kariba, I'm an SME, retailing, supermarkets, at the same time catering. I started off in 17 December 2017. That's when I opened my first shop. I opened a grocery shop. Then as time moved on, I realized that my schools were planning catering food. My schools on trips. At the same time, my church gatherings or any other gatherings are here, and visitors as well are here achieving my food subs. So in any panelaship on Kariba, ndakaona ndichida kuti tisumudziro as a family konoti kuti tiwedzerewo patinowana kuita kuti tikwanise kuretera family. So ndakaona kutanga business zvirizvo zvingaita kuti titese tikwanise kuzosumudzira as a family. Ndopandakatanga the grocery shop.
How has your being a member here SME Corp helped you?
Being a member of the SME Corp has helped me with the knowledge of how to do my day-to-day activities in my business. Financially, to handle my finances, especially to separate the family support finances and my business finances. It has really helped me with that knowledge. And also to upgrade the facilities of my business. I've grown. I'm now using the POSA systems. It's due to the knowledge that we've been getting from some of the workshops that we've been having with the SMEs.
Saka, as an SME, what you do want to say to SMEs as regards to part of an umbrella board, with the workshops, with where you can get finance and stuff. Why is it important for you to be a member of such an organization?
I think if anyone decides to be an SME, it's very useful to all SMEs to say whenever they hear about workshops being held in their community areas, they should attend so that at least they get to get more knowledge, information on what's actually happening around. Because there are a lot of activities that are happening around that are assisting the SMEs. But just because people don't attend the workshops or just ignore, they don't know what's there to help them. At the end of the day, they don't get the necessary help.
Induction course access some funds. Have you already started accessing funds?
Personally, at the moment, I haven't had any financial support, but I'm in the line to. I'm hoping anytime soon. But following the Corp, I have come to understand that there are some who have already been helped, and many are really happy with the assistance they are getting from the corporation.
From Masvingo province, we spoke to Robert Piki.
SMEs rekukurundira zvikuru nokuda kuti ndorave employer zviratidzo tongotorave basa ravo kubva kumining, agriculture nezvekuzvitsvako zvakaita zvokugadzira zvinhu zvokuvakisa dzimba nezvakadaro uye ita zvakaita sekusona nezvimwe zvakasiyana-siyana.
Kazhinji vanhu vanozvibatira ava kana vane makambani madiki havana zvibatiso kana vava kuenda kunotsvaga mari dzekuti mabhizinesi anga achikura zvobva zvarema. But nhasi tanzwa vachimbonzi maona vamwe vamakushanda navo vanogona kubatsirai kuti muvandudze mabhizinesi. How do you take this?
Izvozvo ichokwadi tinozvitambira zvikuru nokuti kuti ma-SMEs mazhinji vava vasina kana chikamu chachivabatsira nokuda kwokuti paita kutsvaga mari vaikumbirwa zvibatiso zvokuti vakwanise kuwana mari. Asi nokuda kuti medical aid yapinda muchirongwa chokuti nyange mu-SME akarwara inogona kubatsira kubhadhara chikwereti ichocho. Pachikwereti kusina assessment hombe inenge ichidiwa kunze kuti kawangojoina skimu iyoyo inopinda muzvirongwa zvokuti uwane mari inokubatsira mubhizinesi. Kana waita dambudziko mukurwara kana kufa, iyoyo skimu yaita take over.
Tirikunzwa zvekuti maakukwanisa vanhu vatotanga kupiwa mari dzekuvandudza mabhizinesi. Munoda kuti chii kuvanhu venyu vamunotungamirira imimi kuti chirongwa ichi vanochitambira sei?
Ini ndinoti chokutanga chokuti shiri yatanga kusvika ndeinotya. Saka munhu wese auyi anga mu-SMEs anoita basa ripi, chakakosha kuve ari mu-association achifamba ari padonzvo reutungamiriri. Ichi chirongwa chifamba nehurumende kuti by 2030 munhu wose anga achinge ave kukwanisa kuzviraramira nokuzvishandira.
Imimi matora sei kuti kambani hombe yauya kuzoshanda nemi vatingati vadiki, asi muchigadzira chinhu chenyu, mari yacho ikuchengetwa pandeyenyu inoita kuti mangwana mugokura mugogona kuita mabasa mamwe makuru, kuzvivakira mabuildings, kuita zvipi nezvipi. Matora sei nyaya yekuti makambani mahombe akudzoka kwatiri isusu madrivers economy parizvino?
Iro idonzo rakanaka zvikuru nokuti ukaona kambani hombe iri yakumanaja mafinances ezvokura vachitiwengotisa paonesa kwakurova kuti vaiva vachitakudirwa atavashila kuti mari dziri kodzesa hakuna padzinenge dzakamira zvakanaka. Iko zvino tinovati uyai nokuti paine kambani hombe inenge iita public finance neaccounting iya yatoti mari yangu kufanira kuti iri mukambani hombe iri kustock exchange. Saka zvoreva kuti kushanda nako kwakutaridza kuti waufa kuchiimba kuziva ndichabaritsirika ende zvakare mari inoramba iri yako inoramba decision making. Sezvo vava kutiwo maboard members achasarudzwa kubva muvanhu ve-SMEs vachizoona chii chingaitika kuti vabatsirike nokukwanisa kuti vaite inonzi vaka yako kubva mumaschemes iwayo. Kana chinhu chikasvika mumaoko edu sama-SMEs ngati pane njere nemuono tisahlira kure nokuti tisitoita zvinhu chiite kubata kwedu kwatinoita hakuna kuti ngagwane kuti politics kana kuita seka ukaita politics usina zvokuti unoita tiriva kuri kuti hauda zvaunenge uchiita. Saka panguva ino tinoti chikamu chingarambe chienderera mberi chisimudzire kubva kumayuth kusvika nevakatanga kudhara kuti varambe vachisimudzira nyika yavo.
From Macheke in Mashonaland East Province, Josephine Mundia spoke to us about her business and her future vision.
Ichokwadi ini ndiri kutotarisira kutoenda kumberi kuti nditozoitawo ka small company kanenge kachiproducer more than what I'm producing right now.
Makazvidzidza kupi uye mukuzviona zviri zvinhu zvinokupai here ndaramo chaicha?
Ini ndakajoinawo vema-small medium entrepreneur, ma-SME. Saka ndiko kwatakatrainwa kuti tinogadzira sei madrinks nekuti tinozvifambisa sei packaging.
Ndakanzwa mutungamiriri wehurumende president wedu achitaura kuti currently pamaproducts ari pashelf pedu tiri kuwana 70% chete zviri kubva muno. Izvozvi kwakatovhurwa kuti mamwe maproducts ngaapinde zvawo kubva kunze kuti zvinhu zvisashayika pamashelves. Isu tiine vana veZimbabwe vanogona kugadzira zvinhu. Muda kuti chii maererano nekugadzira maproducts edu muno?
Ini ndinoti vanhu ngavatenge product yedu because tinenge tichinyatsoigadzira isusu tine zvinhu zvakawanda. Zvinhu zvizhinji zvirimwa zvinorimwa muno muZimbabwe. Saka kazhinji kana tichitogadzira juice yedu inenge itori original. Hatigadziri zvekuti tinozoda kutenga kana kuti tinotogadzira zvinhu zvemuno zvatinowana muno. Tiri kutocreata employment because ndakugona kutorawo mumwe mudzimai akafanana neni ndichimuti andibatsire ndomupawo mari iye otokwanisawo kurarama. Then munyika medu takutogona kuitawo maproducts ekuti kana tikaendawo kuma trade fair tinogona kumaketawo zvinhu zvedu vari kunze vachitoadmayawo zvatinoita training.
Nhasi taona imimi mauya pano makamirira macheki. Vanhu vari mabusiness madiki vari kutora sei danho ratorwa nevema-SME rekuti vabatane nevakuru vema-insurance vakukupai zvikwereti musina zvibatiso mukuzviona zvichifamba sei kuti makukwanisa kuaccessa zvikwereti zvokuti mutenge mishini, mutenge ma-ingredients anodiwa, zviri kufambira sei?
Izvozvo takaona riri danho rakanaka nekuti isusu tanga tichistruggle kuti tikwanise kumita the demand yevanhu vanenge vachida produce yedu. Saka nekuburikidza ne-SME takaona takupiwa zvikwereti nekuti kazhinji vanhu vanokweretesa mari vaida zvibatiso zvakaita semotikari, imba kana mimwe midziyo inokosha. Tiri kupiwa maloans pachena patichibhadhara ka certain percent kadiki kekuti tinokwanisawo kuti tikapiwa mari tokwanisa kuhodha zvinhu zvakati wandei, tokwanisa kuprodusa zvinhu zvakati wandei zvinova zvinhu zviri kuzotibatsira pamberi.
Those were some of the cluster leaders from across Zimbabwe, explaining how being members of the SME body has started solving their business problems, especially the finance side. We take another commercial break. Please stay tuned in for more. Welcome back. This is the final part of this week's edition of Zimbabwe, the Awakening Giant, and in this issue, we are looking at a giant in the form of SMEs registering their first ever commercial fund that has created a marriage between themselves and insurance as well as financial institutions, resulting in the SME sector being financed without collateral, which is a first in the history of Zimbabwe. We spoke to sector leaders who converged in Harare recently, and we also caught up with Gweru-based businessman Saubisio Chirwa, who is into printing.
I'm a reprographic engineer by profession, retired though, but an entrepreneur now into the reproduction of information, putting it on art paper, printing, production of educational content, and mentoring other entrepreneurs. I'm the current chair of SMEs in Gweru.
Current chair of SMEs in Gweru. Why is it important that we have like an umbrella body for such groups like my SMEs?
Unit is power. If you work in isolation, you don't succeed. You always need an extra hand to help you out. So if we are SMEs and work as a collective, then we can produce more. Learn from each other, build each other up, share ideas, and then develop.
They've taken my SMEs to be very backward, but when we look at it from the bigger picture, the world over, SMEs are doing wonderful things in places like China, India, to name but a few. How do you see the future here in Zimbabwe, looking at SMEs becoming economic drivers?
For me, I've never seen an opportune moment like the one currently prevailing in Zimbabwe, in the sense that the negative economic environment has got a positive effect, in the sense that the government has created a platform for us, or that negative environment of not being employed has granted us power to be employers, an opportunity that can never come, that might never come for my kids, but I've been given the time now to create employment for other people. I am an employer of +8 people with the potential of increasing the number to more than 30 with the program on the cards. So being an entrepreneur is an opportunity to build a legacy for my family and to add economic value to our beloved country, Zimbabwe. Because there's no country in the world that can give an individual an opportunity to run their own business, being supported by the government directly and indirectly, and having a secure environment actually.
SMEs are now able to be supported financially, supported medically, supported in all other sectors because of these linkages. How do you see this, and where do you see yourselves within the next 5 years?
As SMEs, we were in isolation for a long time with the negative issue of collateral, but we have had some synergies, we have had partnerships now, and we are having big insurance names coming on board to grant us surety, to grant us security, and to be there for us to have loans coming in. Because you cannot work without financial strength or financial input. So that is flowing with reference to the synergies that we are talking about. It's quite a privilege to be part of this movement, to see this economic movement drive, being driven also by the government, remember, to say nyika inovakwa nevene vayo. We are part of that building team. But then you cannot build without resources. But we have now had big financial institutions, big names coming in to give us the resources or the capacity to capacitate us to manage to build. So we are happy. And I'm actually encouraging other people to come in on board. All entrepreneurs, young, old, or in any stage, join any enterprising group within your area and then be part of the growth.
Most youngsters leaving college at the moment, they still have that old mentality that I must be employed by Mr. X. What would you want to say to them?
I am a trained instruments engineer, as I told you, retired to start my own company and to build. And if you check, everybody in life retires to go and do farming. Why retire to do farming? Why not be trained to be a farmer? So if you are in college and you are being a fit antenna, train to produce your own stuff. If you are training as a carpenter or a joiner, do it to start your own company. So don't engage in programs that do not benefit you, that you hope to have employment. Actually, my intent is I wish this kind of scenario would be maintained so that we are empowered and then create more wealth. I don't see myself working for anybody, and I don't encourage anybody to work for somebody. Yes, it's nice to be trained, to be mentored, but be mentored to be your own employer. Let's be creators of wealth and not beggars.
The SME body has also embraced those from the tourism sector, and representing that sector was Catherine Masunda.
Our main goal is to empower the young people and the women so that also they become tourism entrepreneur. There's this which we call community-based tourism. That's the drive where we're taking the young people and the women to be community-based tourism enterprises. So we've partnered with the umbrella board for SMEs, and we're the focal entity for the tourism and the cluster for tourism. And we hope and believe that through our partnership we'll bring a lot of engagement, a lot of success stories through the SMEs. And recently they have introduced the SME fund, where the issue of current touring and all the privileges.
Before we come to this fund, Catherine, I want to know, you're talking about domestic tourism. Do you think someone would want to leave Harare and come to Mshagodo Kwaseke kuzona Mombe? Do you think that can generate money for the country? Do you think that can drive our economy? Do you think someone would want to leave this place and go and see Tutsuru Wamrewa? Tell us exactly what it is about domestic tourism.
Tourism is broad, and our concept long back, we thought tourism is those international tourists to come in our country, but it's not that way. Tourism starts with us, it begins with us as a nation. We have to know our products, we have to know our destination, we have to know what is it in our country, and then from there, that's how we can explain and promote our destination to other countries, because I cannot promote Zimbabwe when I don't know what is there in Zimbabwe, what can I sell. So it has to start with us. That's why it's important and key for us to promote the domestic tourism.
most people think when we say SME, we're talking about manufacturers, we're talking about retailers. SME. But you're talking about tourism. Do we have SMEs in the tourism sector?
Yes, we do have. Even like, as I said, we have different sectors in the tourism sector. We have I'll give you an example like culture tourism. If you look at culture tourism, that's where we have the arts and crafts. That's where we also have the music. And you know, it took for him to go international. It was because of this Sadak music festival where he showcased, and boom, he was there on the international flag. We need to have all those. We used to have Haifa. That brings also about tourism. We have a lot of products. We have also culinary. Kubika chaiko kwatunoita sadza redu nedovi.
Amai vangu vachibika sadza nedovi vangaite mari nazvo here pane vanhu vangauya here kubva kuEurope kuzocheka sadza nedovi.
Nekuti vane mahotera akatonaka kutodarika edu isusu, ende vanotoda kutogara zvatinoti zvinyeda zvedu kana kuti dzimba dzedu dzechivanhu dzakadzurwa nendove, because vanoda that experience, because kufamba is that experience in life, kunoona zvandisina kumboona mukati menyika yangu yandakazvarwa ndichienda. And isusu tiri kutokurudzira kuti dei hurumende yanzwisisa yanatsa kusimudzira vakadzi nevechidiki, nekuti ine statistics dze-UNWTO, bazi re-UN rinomirira zvetourism, rinoti the most traveled are the youth. And ari mayouth kudaro, the uniqueness about my youth, vauya vaona, achanoudza shamwari yake, achanoudza baba wake, achanoudza mai vake. Mukuvaudza ikoko vachanzwa kudoko doko kuti denda uya ndanoona iyo nyika inonzi Zimbabwe. Ndokuuyisa kwatinoita vanhu vanouya vachiona nyika yedu.
Zimbabwe is indeed endowed with a lot of great wealth, starting from your human resources to the natural resources, as well as those that we have created ourselves. And it is true that nyika inovakwa nevayo. If we utilize these things, then our economy will grow and we will become an upper middle income society by 2030. It's time to say goodbye, unfortunately, but until next time, pleasant viewing.